Hi everyone, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know what happened. It just went off. I think the internet went down. And it just went, I hope you're still there. Say hello to me. I'm back. Help, help, as they say. So I'll just wait for you to find me again. I'm really sorry about this, but the internet just went down. I tell you, technology and me are never going to be friends. I've got one of you back. So hopefully you can all find us again. Oh, we've got some more people coming on board now. I'm not going to do anything until you're all here. So get your friends to get back on live. I'm so sorry, the internet just fell over. Having one of those days, I think. So sorry, everybody. I'll wait for a few of you to join. I think technology's got something, a conspiracy against me, I've decided. Every time I do a Facebook Live, either the mouse decides to play, the camera goes, oh, you're all finding us again. I'm so sorry about that. It's awful when it goes. No, I'm fine. I don't worry too much about it. But it's awful when you can't, you come on and you go off again. My paint will be dry by the time I get to it. So I'll just wait for you guys to come on board. Most of you are finding us again, so that's good. We've got a couple of you back. I really am sorry about this. Nothing I could do. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start. And you can always watch it on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to wet this a little bit more for all of those who are watching. So a little bit of water. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my acrylic block. Oh, a few of you are coming on. Shall I give you a few more seconds? I'm going to start. So all I've done is I've taken that lime green. Look at that, it's beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that and just put it on the background. Yeah? Just keep lifting that and just making that my background. Okay, so I don't need a lot. Oops. I do want to get some coverage on it because I do want that brightness in the background. Oh, look at that colour. Right, let me just wipe this. So, oh, thank you for coming back. I really am sorry, but oh, thank you, Angela. The internet just went down. So all I've done is I've put some lime paint down and then I've just sprayed it. So nothing special. And then I've just lifted it with my acrylic block to give us another start. I really apologise about that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use some bubble wrap, just normal bubble wrap, and I'm going to create a background. All I've done, ladies, is spray some lime, and I've lifted it with the acrylic block. So I'm drying it in between because I just feel that way you're not going to get a smudge of colour. It's a little bit wet there. Right, so what I'm going to now use is white coffee. So I've used the lime and now I'm going to use the white coffee. So I've lost a few of you, which is unfortunate, but I've got some of you back, so that's good. I really am sorry about that. Okay, let me get my brush and I'm going to do the same technique. I'm going to put it down. I'm not going to water it down. My brush is watered down enough, so I don't need to have it watered down too much. So this is white coffee in a mat. And all I'm going to do, she said, oh, here it is, right in front of me, is I'm just going to lift some of this with the bubble wrap. If you want to use a different, something else, you can use that. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in just creating more background really. It just breaks up the colour. It also gives a little bit more texture to it. I think this is a really nice way to create backgrounds. Now you could do this directly onto the papers. You could stick down some rice paper and do this technique. So there's lots of other ways of doing it. This is just one I wanted to share with you. And I like this. Now, let me just show you that. So you can see now you've got a little bit of bubble wrap going on there. Oh, we've got lots of you back now. Sorry, ladies. So all I've done is I put some of the lime glossy onto the surface, sprayed it a little bit, and used my little block just to tap onto the paper. Okay? And then what I've done is I've taken some of the white coffee, used some bubble wrap, and then just gone down. Okay, so that's where we've got to so far. I'll get myself a little baby wipe. Oh, not the tidiest of people, but let's try and keep it a little bit tidier than it is. So that is where we've got to with it. I'm just going to give that a quick glass. Right, so the next thing you need to do is to take this piece of paper and we're going to put it through the machine. I'm just going to do that now. Let me just get my machine. So I've got the old calibre. Even though I've got an electronic version, I think I've got about 3 different machines, I still love this. Now, one of the things you have to remember, I'll just put my plates here for you, is that, ignore my plates, is if you have a stencil, let me put this over here. If you have a stencil with any numbers or any writing, like the word butterfly, then you need to make sure that when you put your stencil down on your plate, oops, so that would be the right way. I think you can tell, yeah? Sorry, 3 is the right way. What you need to do is you need to turn that over. Otherwise, your image is going to come out wrong. Okay? Now, what you need to do is take your sheet of paper and put that you've created over the top, face down with your image. Okay? Next thing I do on this machine, anyway, is I take the rubber mat. Let me get this. I'll put it down. And then I put the other plate on top. So it's going to be roughly right, and we always cut it down anyway to make a card. And then I just feed that through with my stomach. So sorry, the table is going to move like there's no tomorrow, but I wanted to do this while you were here because otherwise I would have to go off the screen and then come back. So loving all the entries for the lime challenge, really, really nice. So I thought I'd better join in the action. We will be announcing the winner for the February Passionate Pink. And I hope you're enjoying all the new ranges and loving to see what you've made. Some beautiful stuff that you've made. Okay, so once you've done that, just push it through. Okay, I just wanted to sort of do that while we were live. I usually wouldn't, but... Okay, so then what you do is just remove your plate, your rubber mat, and you've got your stencil there. Yeah? Just remove your stencil now. There you go. Now, at the moment, it will look like nothing, and I don't know even if you can see it, but the magic happens when I do the next layer. Now, this is up to you what colour you want to use. I used black on this because I really liked it. Now, you could use a lighter colour, and if it didn't work, you could go over it in black. So shall we try it with the brown? You know, Dali always likes to live dangerously. She never does anything by halves. So what you do is just take a distress oxide or distress ink and then just go round in circles, lightly. Okay, so you're just capturing the top. And I love this effect because it's easy, it's simple. And there you go. Now, look at that. So can you see how beautiful that already looks? Okay, and then what you can do is dry that. Let's dry that. my phone in real time. I'll call back. So, there we go. So, as you can see, it's a really lovely way of doing and very, very quick. But now, to move on to the next step for that, you have a couple of options. You can either use a gold and then add the gold over the elements. So that's a really nice way to make some of these pops. So this is gold, this is the metallic gold wax, nicely loved. And then you can add little bits to the, especially to the darker bits. Say if we wanted to make this look like more like metal, you can add that. Okay, so you can see now, or hopefully you can see that that's gone a little bit more golder. Okay, now the other thing we can do, and I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to use one of our stamps. And I know I'm going to get in trouble by Pip, because it's one of her favourites in the new collection. I'm going to have to do it, Pip. I'm really sorry. I'm very sorry. And I'm just going to use it. It's one of our crackle stamps. I'm really sorry, Pip. Oh no, I can feel the pain. I know, Jill, we have loads. You know, the internet just went down. It was really annoying. So this is actually one of the crackle stamps. It is absolutely beautiful. I have used it so much. Now what I'm going to do is, and you can use this with an ink pad, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to use a Versamark. This is just a sticky glue, which helps with embossing powder. So I'm going to do some embossing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to put this randomly, and this is the beauty. Whoop, throwing all these stamps away. The beauty of this. I'm just going to randomly put this down. I'm not overthinking it. Just using it with my fingers, so you can use it with a pad and acrylic block. Don't want to do too much because I don't want it all to be right. Just going to wipe that and put that away. Pretend I didn't show you that, because Pip's going to be sharing some of the stamps, I'm sure, on Tuesday. Right, so I've just used the Versamark, so if anybody wants to know. This is the watermark stamp pad. It's sticky, but if you've got a Distress Oxide or a Distress ink pad, you can still use that as long as it stays open in terms of its oops. I need to get myself a piece of paper, which I thought I had already got myself, but let me see if I can find one. I think I can just use this one for now. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some embossing powder over the top. Okay, so wherever that crackle is, or wherever it is still wet, it will capture it. Oh, that was brilliant. Did you see that, guys? I just dropped it. So here we go. I will pick that up in a minute. We will get there today. So now you can see, obviously I didn't make any note of where I put the crackle. That would be another reason why you would want to use a coloured ink pad, because then you could see it. But can you see how it's coming on? So wherever it's wet, it's going to show. But once I start heating it, you'll see it. I'm having fun today. I dropped the whole thing. So you could use an anti-static pad if you didn't want to get it too smudged, but I actually like this look. So I'm just putting this down. I'll try and get most of that in my pot. There we go. I can't make any more mess than I've already made, I don't think. So what I'll do is I'll just try and lift as much as I can of this. Whoa! Now I just flicked it. Oh my God, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown today, aren't I? With the stress of the Facebook and everything else, I'm doing a really good job. Let me put this onto here. Don't want to lose any of it. It's such beautiful embossing powder. I know Pip has some really amazing ones. Oh, seriously, I'm having one of those days. I think I've stuck it all to the sheet. Oh well. Ignore me today. Look, I'm making a mess. We're not going to have any embossing. We're not going to have any embossing powder left at this rate. Okay. Ignore the mess I'm making, ladies. I'm just having one of those days. Really having one of those days by the looks of it. Right. Let's let the magic happen. So wherever your embossing powder went, so you can see that beautiful crackle in the corner. Pip will be sharing that, I'm sure, with you all. So you can see wherever the embossing powder was, or the bit I've done, it's picked that up. And it looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's hard to show you. Let me throw this away. Little bits of embossing powder on it. I'm just having one of those days. Let me just rub any of that off. Use my little cloth because I think that would be a bit better. So if I've got any on there, I managed to rub it off. Just treading on my samples now on the floor. Okay, so now you can see, hopefully, all the crackle and all its glory. Now, if you wanted to, you could go in with a slightly different colour pad. So if we wanted to put a bit of blue into that, I could easily take, I'm wondering if that's going to work. Oh, it's be interesting to see what it looks like. It's one I had at hand. And then we can still go in and we can add a little bit more colour. Do you know, this is so easy to do, but it is so, so effective. And I really like this technique. So you've got a bit of the brown and you've still got a bit of that. Obviously with all your different colours, now can you see that? See how that just comes to life? And then when you put that on the back of a black cardstock, it will look really lovely as a lime addition. So you can carry on doing other bits to this. You could use, you know, you can go in now with a lid. Just having a look at a lid that might be suitable, and seem to have removed all my lids from here as well today. And so what you can now do is you could go in, say with like this lid is a little bit big for me actually, is maybe take a brown. Let me just take this out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some brown circles into this as well. So can you see, starting off with something really, really simple. Please have a look at Jill's Crafty Surgeon for some inspiration on the Astral pad and on the bird song. And like we say, we're going to be launching next Thursday an entire collection of some inspiration. So all I'm doing is taking a little bit. I don't want it too dark because I don't want it to distract from the pattern. What I might need is that I might need to add a little bit more to that. I think I've just covered the lid in it really. Okay, so I'm just doing a little swirly pattern in there. And I'm just breaking that pattern up a little bit more. But you don't really even need this because the stencil does all the work for you. But if you're looking to add texture to your work, this is a really nice way to add another layer of texture. And that's what it's about, mixed media. It's about all these textures that you can add. Make a mess and probably end up making even more of a mess. Okay, let's put that in there. So now you can see how that's all coming together. So it's not difficult, and it's a really nice way to create a background. And when you mask and layer that, it looks absolutely beautiful. Is everything all right?
I think some of the internets are getting stuck in here.
Oh, some of the internets are getting stuck somewhere, he says. So you can see how lovely that looks. Now we can still take a little bit of the brown wax and knock back some of that, the brown I put on, so that it's not too harsh. It's got a tinge of gold as well. So that's one of the examples I wanted to share with you. I hope you, that's very true, Angela, you can definitely not have too much. So that's a really nice way to work with a stencil. This is one of the new stencils that's just been launched to match the Astral. We have lots of new products coming out. We're just literally receiving them as we speak. In fact, today was our stamp delivery. So they are all coming in. We've even got our June collection ready. Oh, I just want to get it all out already. So that gives you an idea, and what you could do is you could then edge the edges as, whoops, see, I told you, everything's going to fall apart on me today, I tell you. Okay, so now what you could do is, so you wanted to go to that next stage, she says, see how much mess she can really make. Then we can put a few brown splashes in there as well. Not too many, just enough to bring all that together. And I love the way this comes together. It's such an easy technique, but works so well. Okay, I'll leave that there for a minute. Actually, no, I'll put it in the water because I'll probably destroy it. Okay, so now we've got another layer. And seriously, you could carry on and look at that. You could add a bit of blue from the blue Distress Oxide we've used. So hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. So it's a really nice project to do. And then once you matte and layer that, or you put it on a canvas, or you then put something else on top, it becomes a really beautiful piece. And you could use this and cut it up and use it for other things as well. So that's one take on the stencil. Absolutely beautiful. The stencil's absolutely beautiful. I have to say thank you to Hobbilicious for that as well. Okay, let me just wipe this down a little bit. Look, oh gosh, I don't even know what's happening today. Now, for a very similar technique, but this time I'm going to do it on black. What I've done is, you can't see it properly. Yeah, yes you can. I've embossed it already. The stencil's embossed beautifully. And again, always reverse them if you're putting them through. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use our Chameleon Waxes to bring this to life, which I really love doing. Okay, I've got a bit of a green, I've got a blue, I've got a peach, and I've got a white gold. I think I'll stick with those colours. They come in several colours. So let me just show you. These are called Chameleon Waxes. And when you see Chameleon Waxes, they all look like the same colour, but they're not. So you one's slightly gold, that one's got a hint of blue. I know it's hard to see, and that's a peach, got a bit of hint of peach in it, and a green. What I like about these is they're a little bit more, now you can either go with the really metal heavy waxes, but I find with the chameleons they're a little bit creamier and a little bit easier to use as a light touch. So I'm going to start off with blue. Okay, and I've got that all stuck in my nail. So it is really not working for me today. So I'll just put a little bit on my mat. You don't need a lot. And then just touch the top of your design. I'm going to go to the edges because and I can always cut that down. Now can you see how smooth that is? Let me just take this out of my... managed to get everything on me today. So you can see, look at that. And then when you start to add all the other colours in, I'll do it like this. Okay, so let's add a little bit of green as well. I always tend to put it onto the mat because I tend to be, otherwise you can get them a little bit too heavy. And then when you get them too heavy, then you get the smudges occurring. So just be careful when you're doing it in that respect, because if you have too much, like I've got a little bit too much on the corner of my finger or my nail, then you'll catch it and you'll become a blob. So just be aware of that. So I'm just using very lightly my fingers. You could use a stick as well, just to take the wax out if it's easier for you. So now you can see how I'm working with that. So there I picked up too much. That's what happens when you pick up too much. So you can just see. But can you see how all those colours work together and gives this metal finish? It's such a nice way to work. So I'm just going to use the end of this so that I've got a little bit more coming out on my fingers. And I'm not putting my finger in everything. So I'll just go a bit bigger. And you can go over the wax, so it's not a problem. I'm randomly doing this just to show you all the different colours. If you do go heavy, which does look nice, by the way, if you do go heavy, it's not like it doesn't look nice. It just means, like here, I've gone heavier. Can you see? So what you get is you get this more heavier look, whereas when you don't go so heavy, you get more of a... And it comes with practice, I have to be honest. It's not something that it just happens. It just comes with practice. And each of them are different. So I always say, test it, have a play, and then from there you can see what you want to do. Yeah? And I just love these colours. I think it comes in a lilac, a sparkle, silver. But they are one of my best. In terms of waxes, they probably are the most beautifulest to use. So use that bit of blue up as well. See, when you've got a lot, this will dry as well because they've got an orange oil in them. They smell beautiful. So if anybody wants to know, do they smell nice? They smell absolutely gorgeous. Really, really, really nice. So you just keep going until you're happy with your design. Yeah. So keep going until you like it. Now you could do this in 2 colours, 3 colours. You could do it in whatever you want to. I just happen to have picked all of them up today. So can you see how that's all coming together? It looks lovely when you look at it as a whole. And just go back in again. If you're not happy with something, just go back in again. And just keep playing until you are happy. You can go over the bits, so don't worry. So if you think, oh, that's a bit too much or that's too little, and you can go over those bits as well. So this gives you a really nice take on that. So I'm going to leave that there for a minute. So these are just the waxes. I've used. Whoops. Oh look, I'm just going to put my foot. So I think there's something wrong with me today. I keep wanting to hit everything. All the waxes come up on this one. I think I must have had it by a heater. Okay, so then when you've got to this bit, you can just polish it up if you like. I just use an old tea towel. Seriously, it looks like metal when you've done this. I can't explain to you how beautiful it really looks in real life. Sorry, my table's very wobbly. I know it probably is hard to tell when you're there because you only see glimmers of it. It's really, really nice. They do smell gorgeous, don't they? I love the waxes too. So when you get to this stage, then that's that bit. Then what I want to do is, now I haven't done this, so bear with. I've not done this. I'm going to try a couple of things that I want to do. And one of them is, I'm going to try a different colour.
How quickly do your waxes dry?
They dry quite quickly, actually. They don't take long to dry at all. I mean, these are dry. But I always say, look, you can't see it on the back of my hand. No. So it's dry. So it's instant, really. It's just where you've got orange oil. You just have to be careful that it isn't still wet or anything. I mean, I haven't got a big thick. I'm going to try this, Honey Wild. I don't know what it's going to look like. Let's go for it. There we go. So what you're doing now is you've got a different background on the background, but then you've got all this detail pulling up. That looks absolutely amazing. I think I want to bring a little bit more blue in. So what I'm going to do is just dry that off a little bit. Not too much because I don't want to take it off. I don't want my blue to get contaminated as I've got the blue in front of me. And then bring in a bit of blue as well. This is just really easy ways of doing your stencils. And again, that on a piece of white card will look absolutely beautiful. So now you could still do that same embossing powders. So there's lots of different ways that you can do this. You could go back in again with the stencil and sit the stencil over the top and then use your gel paste and go over this, and that will make it like a glossy finish. So I just wanted to really share these two today. I didn't want to do a lot. I just wanted to share with you. So we've got the butterfly one as well in the And what I've done with this one is I've just done the same effect, but used the embossing powder with the bubble wrap over the top to create this effect. That's where I've just put the paint directly onto the paper and took it through the embossing folder and then used a bit of wax and some inks. That's the technique I showed you with the one I did earlier. And so you can see by using different colours, same stencil, the effects that you get are so easy. So a bit of acrylic paint. If you've got distress oxide, great. If you've got embossing powders, fine. If you don't worry about it. But these are the sort of effects that you can create. And then obviously on black, you get this really amazing effect. So easy to do, so effective. And I just absolutely love it because I think it's such a nice way to do something. And again, you could put this onto foam pads like I've shown you before. Foam pads, foam. I know, Charlie, I love using bubble wrap. And then you can just create all these different effects. And you could even add a bit of lime to that if you wanted to. So that just gives you a little bit of ideas of the brand new these are just two of the stencils I've shared with you today. Let me just show you them again. So you can have this either way. You can have it lots of different ways. It just gives you an idea. Yeah, really simple. Thank you, Jill. Very, very simple effects. Very easy to do. Absolutely beautiful stencils. We shared this stamp today, which is to go with the Astral Journey. It can be with a lot of our pads actually. Then I showed you the beautiful rice paper that matches the book as well. So I've just made a few little samples there. The rice papers are absolutely beautiful. Let me just quickly show you that. There we go. Look at that. Oh gosh, I battered it literally. It's all right. It survived. So that's a really nice one to use. And then, just very quickly, for anybody who missed it, that's also using the butterfly stencil. Look at the detail on that. These are some of the new stamps. Look at those. All will be revealed on Thursday relaunch. So another one with the embossing powders, the birdie cut up. The stencil is actually in the background there. Another one with the beautiful bird. Beautiful stamp. Some with the lazurs. Some with embossing powders. So I just wanted to share a few of those things, a few of the... that's lovely. I know, it's very addictive, this. So that's everything for today. Don't forget to join the Lime Challenge. Thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the hiccup with the internet. And basically, I will put this onto YouTube so you can have a look at these techniques and then you can follow it with me. And anything I do on Thursday, I will share with you. So if then those who can't join me at 12:45 next Thursday on Create and Craft, I won't be doing a Facebook Live because I will be travelling. So enjoy. The range will be coming out next week and there is lots there. Like I said, I think there's 7 rice papers, 6 stamps, couple of more books, 1 large format book, which is amazing. It's like a 12 by 12 and an 8 by 8 all in one. So brilliant for lots of different techniques. So have a play, enjoy. And I know Pip will be doing a lot of teasers on Tuesday as well. And I will speak to you all soon and have a lovely weekend. Take care. Bye for now.